Where's Optimus Prime?
I want the Beetle. I'll work here every day for a year.
Yours, kid.
Do you speak? You sound like a little bumblebee. Only person you can show yourself around is me. So let's say we're driving and all of a sudden, somebody's there, hide! You serious? Let me see if I can fix it.
I pray this message finds you. Our war rages on threat.
The voice mentioned a war. You hiding from something?
The criminal from our world is hiding on yours. If our common enemy isn't found,
We'll burn the whole planet to cinders. Take it down!
My back feet!
B-127. You must protect Earth and its people.
Thank you.
Run! Do not run! She ran.
Bumblebee, what have you done? I am so screwed.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the World Through Electrospecs podcast. My name is Caleb.
And I am Pete.
And welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Let me see if I can get some trailers running here. I'm immediately getting back into this, like,
Yeah, it's an unusual setup for us from what we've typically done. There's been so much change.
Yeah, so welcome back.
Yeah, welcome. It's good to see you. I have to look this way if I'm going to look to you and say hi.
I'm looking this way to look to you and say hi, but most of the time I'm going to be probably looking this way just because that's where my window is. So, the World Through Electrospecs. It's a podcast we started quite a while ago, and it's been a while since we've recorded.
It definitely has. Definitely.
A lot of things have changed since we last recorded an episode, though.
Oh, gosh, yeah. It's been months, if not a year. Has it been that long? That would be crazy.
I don't think it's been a year. I can tell you definitively how long it's been if you want me to look it up, but it's been a while.
Right. I think we're better off not knowing and just kind of roll.
Yeah.
Like it's seamless. It never was time. Yeah, a lot's happened. A lot's been going down.
Yep. But we're here. We're trying a remote thing. I've moved since our last recording. You've moved since our last recording. So my office is at work now. I live in an apartment now. You live in a house now. Have your own office at your house now.
Right. And we're states away from each other. No longer in the same state or miles. We're hundreds and hundreds of miles away from each other, but
so we're recording remotely.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a new new way to do some things. So this is our first go at it, and we get better.
Okay, so let's just dive right into it. Transformers.
They're more than meets the eye.
Are they?
Without a doubt.
Are you going for Shia LaBeouf level of of line readings here? Is that what you're going
No,
for?
no, I was even thinking like 1970s.
There's more than.
More.
You remember that line from the first movie, though, right? The 2007 Transformers movie? When they shoehorned that line into it. When he dropped.
I'll know it.
Huh?
As soon as you say it, I will know it. That's for sure.
Yeah. He drops the girl off at her house at night, and he goes, and she's like, "Oh, thanks for driving me home." And he's like, she's like, "Do you think I'm shallow?" And he goes, "No, I think there's more than meets the eye with you."
Right.
They completely just like shoved that into our faces.
Exactly.
So that was the first. So okay, so we just watched the third Bumblebee trailer. Bumblebee is being released later this year in December, I believe, is when it's going to be released.
Yep.
That is a.
There it is, Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas, really.
Huh.
Where are you seeing that?
Oh, that was on that last trailer that just finished.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So will it be Christmas Day or will it be a Christmas treat? Yeah.
A Christmas treat.
Right. But I don't know. It's interesting because in the last series of Transformers, there's kind of like this bad rap on where Transformers has gone.
Oh yeah,
But
it got bad.
But just in this recent trailer with just Bumblebee, I think it's a redemption moment as far as the what do you call it? Theater movies. Trying to find the right word for it, and it's just not coming to me. Cinematic, right? To throw that word at you again.
Mm-hmm. Cinematic.
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 Yeah.
No, so it's kind of like it's on the fence on what this movie is going to be. There's talk that it's supposed to be a reboot. There's talk that it's supposed to be a soft reboot. I don't even know what a soft reboot is supposed to be, to be honest with you. But a lot of the things that happen in the trailer's not playing anymore. It's a different.
Yeah. I was looking.
There's different video playing. But basically, what's going on is it seems to be that there's a lot of the same events that happened in the Michael Bay movies are happening in this movie. Just so it's like it's a similar characters, similar timeline, similar events, just different year that it takes place.
Right.
So it kind of seems like they're kind of rebooting it a little bit, but they're still following a lot of the same storylines, like when B is getting.
Yeah. Well, almost a prequel, if you will.
That's what. So that was the original thing, was that it was supposed to be a prequel, but now it's not being directed by Michael Bay.
Okay.
This one is.
Would that really change the storyline that much to not make it a prequel?
What do you mean?
Well, just from the trailer, it's definitely like she comes across Bumblebee, and Bumblebee's there and calling Optimus Prime and something like that. It almost seems to be pre the arrival, if you will.
So it's instead of being directed by Michael Bay, this one's being directed by Travis Knight, who appears to be famous mostly for Coraline, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yep.
So animation stuff.
Oh,
so
okay.
Coraline was that 2009 animated movie. It was like stop motion claymation animated. It was kind of it's Tim Burton-ish, if it wasn't Tim Burton.
Okay.
It was definitely Tim Burton-ish. And then Kubo and the Two Strings was the most recent kind of. I don't know what's going on the screen right now.
Yeah,
it's just Stephen Hawking and
keep popping up.
Yeah, that's all right. If it gets like totally weird, I'll go in and change it. But
I think eventually it'll get something strange.
yeah, probably it's YouTube.
Yeah. So should we go back to the original or one of the B trailers, if you will, and kind of see if we can't.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
And it's interesting that this was the same year that Volkswagen announced that they were done making the Volkswagen.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I did not know that, but that's a good thing that you noticed. So trailer number 3 was what we just watched. I'll go ahead and throw on.
And I know it's the classic
Trailer number 2.
Volkswagen Beetle, but still, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking for hidden gems along the way here.
So the biggest, not really hidden gems of these trailers, but like super cool thing is all the G1 stuff. So what's wrong?
What I'm also noticing, so this is even set time.
It's set in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the timeline. It's set in the 80s. Let me see. So on the run in the year 1987, Bumblebee finds refuge in a junkyard in small Californian beach town. Charlie, on the cusp of turning 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee battle-scarred and broken.
Yeah.
So Haley Steinfeld plays Charlie, as just mentioned, who's the main character, the main girl character in that.
Gotcha.
Interestingly enough, John Cena is continuing his on-screen career in this movie, which is really, I don't know. I've always kind of thought that was really weird that he's doing acting. Right. I don't know if he's a good actor or not because the movies he's been in have not really piqued my interest.
Right.
But
every hero has a story.
Has a beginning.
Oh. As a beginning.
So there, right there. Ooh. Let me. I don't want to turn this into this kind of thing, but let's go ahead and just go on back there. Check that out. Boom.
Now what's going on there? We've never seen those before.
Exactly. No, we have in the cinematic universe. So the purple one is Shockwave. But that's the original G1 style of Shockwave character. Same with the Seekers on the right, and we actually have a couple cone heads down there in the bottom as well. So, and that appears to be Starscream.
So who's in the center background there?
Center background looks like Starscream.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. So
that's where things are getting kind of weird.
Transformer knowledge. It's
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But that's where things are getting kind of weird because they're claiming that that's Blitzwing, not Starscream, which Blitzwing, I'll go ahead and pull them up so you can see.
This should be interesting.
This is Blitzwing. He was a very iconic character that had 3. He was a triple changer where he transformed into a jet, a tank, and a robot.
Oh wow!
But he had a very distinct purple, tan, and yellowish.
No,
color
was
scheme.
it animation only, or did the toy? Well, there's a toy. Okay.
Yeah.
But did the toy do
toys,
all 3?
There were toys of him. I don't remember when exactly he was introduced, if he was introduced. Because some characters were made toys and then added to the cartoons afterwards. Some characters were cartoon characters that they made toys of. It kind of went back and forth as to what was the introduction of a character, whether it was the toy or the cartoon.
Yeah,
but
that's what I have to get on the sad story, if you will. Like, my childhood was, like, definitely during the cartoon Transformers, but I was at that age where I was teenager, but my little brother was still old enough to like play with toys and that kind of thing. So I didn't have the as well interactions, but that shouldn't be an excuse because Transformers are a iconic cultural thing, and I just should be loving them. But
well, you don't have to love them. The new movies, I've always been a huge Transformers fan, and I
love them. There's no doubt.
I even through all of the Michael Bay BS that ended up not everybody who was complaining about the Michael Bay movies, I still loved them. I loved the first one. Revenge of the Fallen, the second one, even though a lot of people say that one's the worst, I really, really, really liked that one. I don't like it, but I don't like it more than the first one, but Dark of the Moon, the third one, I really enjoyed.
Yep.
Really went downhill after that. I really, really wanted to like Age of Extinction, the one where they swapped. I almost said Nathan Fillion, the one where they swapped Shia LaBeouf out for for Mark Wahlberg and stuff. Like,
I didn't mind that one really. I thought that one, I liked that one better than.
It was okay. Yeah. It was okay. I wanted to like it a lot more than I did.
Right.
It ended up being a little disappointing.
The second one just had too much CGI kind of backgrounds and stuff, like in Megatron's lair or whatever it was, or whatever you want to call it. Megatron?
The second one meaning Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah.
Or Revenge of the Fallen? No. Yeah. Revenge. They got really good. They started doing the weird naming
The one
thing.
where things fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it got like really skeletal with the
It was less chunky metal, and it was a little bit more. There were like shards of metal shifting around.
That got a little wonky, but other than that,
But then when The Last Night came out is when I just couldn't be on board as much anymore. That one, Anthony.
I don't even think I've seen that.
Yeah, don't waste your time. I mean, definitely do, because I feel like you should have the experience and form your own opinion. But
Right.
it felt. The Last Night felt like
The Last Night.
Yeah. My reaction to that movie was just like, guys, I'm trying to like this. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
It was really bad. It was hard to follow. There was a lot of complicated stuff. Barely any transformations. It was weird. It was so weird. Anthony Hopkins played like a jokey character, and I believe we talked about that in previous episodes when I was talking about Westworld and my love for Anthony Hopkins and how in his role in the new Transformers movie, it was just he was joking around, and he called somebody dude at one point, and for an older like experienced actor like that with a nice British accent, calling somebody dude is just weird. It's weird.
Right.
But they were playing on that. That was supposed to be the joke, but it made me feel uncomfortable. So
let's go back to that trailer.
There was
did you want to show something here?
There was a lot of backlash on those movies, and they're kind of trying to go back. Yeah, so we were talking about this character here.
Okay, right.
We were talking about Starscream, Blitzwing, or whatever. So Blitzwing has a very iconic character design. Starscream, on the other hand, also has a very iconic character design. I mean, look at this toy. He's got these two kind of jet intakes, pylons going up his shoulders, and he's got a very specific head shape with the vents on the sides of his head. And he's got the red, white, and blue color. Very, very specific design. And that's what this looks like, does it not? There's
yeah, I see it.
Red, white, and blue.
It's not exact, obviously, but
no. But if you look, there's different spot. There's a different spot in the trailer. I can't find it, but there's a different spot in the trailer that shows that character's face close up, and it actually has the vents on the side of his face. So like everybody's like, absolutely Starscream. Travis Knight and the people who are working on the movie, no, that's not Starscream. It's Blitzwing. They're claiming
why not, right?
Yeah, right here, this
Right
scene.
there.
See,
Yeah.
he's got the vents on the side of his face. So they're claiming that that's Blitzwing. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Blitzwing, but see that kind of stuff. That's 100% G1. Soundwave looking like that with his blue square body and Ravage coming out of him like a tape recorder,
Right.
like a tape cassette, and then transforming from the rectangular tape cassette into a little Jaguar.
Let's see that again.
It's absolutely 100% G1.
Yeah, and then we'll go back to that moment too.
So,
there's like
here's
too many
another
good moments.
Here's another moment.
There's just too many.
There's a lot of them, yeah. So in the Transformers, in the original cartoon, when they were still on Cybertron, the jet characters known as the Seekers.
By the way, which is what makes this absolutely fantastic, because the original, we'll call it a trilogy, the 5 movies, didn't really beckon back really kind of hardcore to the animation of the original cartoon.
No,
Where-
the first
where
5
this-
Transformers movies, they were just chunks of solid metal or chunks
Right.
of chunks of garbage.
Where this is definitely getting back to the thing that makes Transformers, you know.
Also, surprisingly enough, this movie has a significantly smaller budget than the other movies that have come out.
Really?
Yeah, even though the CG is looking really awesome. Now, some people are complaining that the CG is kind of looking like video game graphics, but whatever. So, in the original G1 cartoon,
I didn't see that.
Starscream, Thundercracker, all the characters that turn into jets, they're referred to as Seekers. Just as a piece of information. In the original G1 cartoon, the Seekers, when they were on Cybertron, they were turning into these triangular pyramid jets called Tetra jets. And if you look at the trailer here, when they're on Cybertron, Tetrajets.
Oh yes.
How freaking cool is that?
Wow.
That's too cool. Like, they're going all out. They're going completely deep on the G1 references and the G1 designs.
See, I don't see how people see the poor quality or
In
the
CG.
I'm sorry, the video game quality. But
There's other weird things, but okay. The best way I could describe it is if you dig deep into this trailer, if you watch it. Are you looking at me?
yeah.
Hi,
Well,
Pete.
you're getting serious, so I want to definitely be looking right at you. Which is funny 'cause I'm looking at my wall. But,
if you just watch this trailer for the entertainment value, oh, it's a Transformers movie that could be better than the other ones. Let's go watch this. If you dig deep into it,
yeah.
you start seeing some inconsistencies and some problems. If you dig
Oh.
if you dig even deeper into it, you start seeing that those problems are actually cool and references to the G1 cartoons.
Oh,
For instance,
okay. I thought you were going in a bad direction.
No. I'm going in a good direction. For instance, the scenes on Cybertron in this trailer, like if I could actually pause it at the right spot, like this scene right here, they're on Cybertron, and the jets look like they're the Tetra jets, the pyramid jets. But Optimus, sorry?
Yeah, that's like classic Optimus.
Right, that's classic G1 Optimus. And even though they're on Cybertron, he still has truck windows on his chest. Right. When theoretically, in this situation, they haven't been to Earth yet.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah.
And he's got truck windows on his chest. He's got smokestacks on his shoulders. So you're thinking, okay, so if you start digging into it a little bit, you think, well, that doesn't make sense. They're breaking continuity there. But if you dig even deeper into that...
We have to know the character, though.
But if you dig even deeper into that, you look at the original first episodes of the G1 cartoon. And they didn't want to waste the extra money on the animation in the G1 cartoon. So in the first episode, when they're still on Cybertron, when they transform into vehicles, they're like weird hover cars and Tetrajets and all these weird vehicles. But when they transform into robots, they look like the vehicle forms are part of the robot. So, like, for instance, in the first episode of Transformers G1, 1984.
Yeah.
Bumblebee is a weird little hover car, but when he transforms into his robot mode, he's got what looks like VW parts on him, even though he hasn't gone to Earth yet. Same thing with Optimus.
Right. But
so,
I guess wouldn't they have to do that though, so we have continuity and to recognize the characters?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're robots. They've got very specific silhouettes, and they've got color schemes that could match. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is where things are starting to get. So I'm going to jump into something else here where things are starting to get kind of weird. They're claiming that character there was a sound wave again with Ravage jumping out of him.
Oh, I still love that scene.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. That looks like it's actually like made right over top of cells from the cartoon.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just looks like they just kind of like put the CGI over that, so they got that perfect. It was cool.
Well, also in the movies, in the Michael Bay movies, Cybertron was that weird kind of honeycomb hexagon planet. Remember that?
Right.
Where
right.
in these trailers, Cybertron is actually a big round chunk of metal with parts out of it that have been exploded and chunks that have been ripped out from the war. So it's like everything down to the design of Cybertron as a planet is going G1, you know?
Right.
Going OG cartoons, and that's cool. I'm liking this a lot. I'm loving the look of this.
Trailers previous to our preparation to talk today. So, I mean, I've known about them and I'm excited about them, but just seeing these for the first time is breathtaking. Oh, look,
it's bumblebees.
Bumblebees, yeah.
So there are a few things that I think where this is kind of in a gray area as far as where it fits with the other movies. It was originally said that it was going to be a complete reboot, and then people were saying, well, it's probably going to be a prequel. Now people are saying it's going to be a soft reboot where some things are going to be rewriting the movies we've already had. Some things are going to be repeating the movies we've already had because they want to keep that. I don't know necessarily how a soft reboot would work in this situation, in this universe that we've already been given.
Right.
But like, so this whole Starscream and Blitzwing situation.
How old are those original trilogies, because I'm calling them trilogies. Those are five.
Yeah. Well, the first Transformers movie, the first Michael Bay Transformers movie came out in 2007.
So are we a decade? Are we a generation enough ahead where the young people, that are just getting into this, will find it new and valuable? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing with all of the violence and sexual references in the original movies. They weren't necessarily kids' movies. They were meant for adults who watched the cartoon as a kid.
Right.
This is possibly a reboot where, so far, it looks like it could be aimed more towards kids. But the adult fans, because of all the G1 references, are still going to enjoy it, even though it's not full of penis jokes,
Right. Definitely. Interesting.
Yeah, I could not be more excited for this.
And this actually sets them up for the opportunity to even have more side stories for the different characters, if you will.
Although,
possibly, I don't know.
Although I love, I'm just going to go back to the beginning here. Although I love the Michael Bay movies until they get to the Age of Extinction era with Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, I said that wrong. Nothing against Mark Wahlberg. Just that's when it started going downhill for me. Although I love those, I really wish, from what we've seen so far of the Bumblebee trailer, I really sincerely wish this is just a complete reboot. Kind of like what Disney did when they purchased Star Wars, where, new production company, I believe this is Paramount. I'm not entirely sure. No, better yet, it's a new company.
Wow.
I'll make this full screen again. It's a new company that's owned by Hasbro called Allspark Pictures. So Hasbro, the toy company that's always...
Pictures.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the toy company that makes the toys has their own production company that they're naming after this franchise. And they're doing what visually looks to be a much better job at making the movies as well.
So I think basically said, you guys did it all wrong. We're going to do it the right way. Mm-hmm. And we're going to stay true to who these characters are. Because let's face it, they were toys. Mm-hmm. And we're going to treat them right, I guess.
I would absolutely love it if this was a complete reboot. And they just said, look, we're making a new Transformers movies. Continuity doesn't matter anymore. Right. It's an alternate timeline or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they're just saying, we own this.
Right. But they're not. That's the frustrating part. So we were talking about the whole Blitzwing Starscream scenario from earlier, where that jet looks like Starscream visually, but they're claiming it's Blitzwing. The reason they're claiming it's Blitzwing is because they're saying that the Starscream from the Michael Bay movies, where he's the F-22 Raptor and he's got like a triangle body shape and he's got a very specific look to him, they said they don't want to cause confusion between that Starscream and this jet in this movie, because Starscream already has a look. Right, which tells me they're really latching onto and accepting the movies that already exist instead of rewriting them.
Yeah.
And to boot, they're also
maybe it's a parallel then. You know what I mean?
Making a character that looks just like Starscream,
yeah.
But they're claiming it's a character that it looks nothing like.
Well, are they introducing new characters? I mean, we are in an age of marketing,
Yeah.
Everything about that's what I'm doing. I'm actually looking all over the trailer to find other things that might be part of, the bigger. I've got an education in business and marketing as well as design, so that's where my mind goes. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
But but maybe they're saying, look, now we have these new characters. Like, I mean, look at Star Wars when they do their standalone films like Solo or Rogue One. They're introducing new characters. They're introducing a new line of material, toys.
Not a single Star Wars movie like Rogue One and Solo both introduced new characters and new ships that we never saw in any of the other movies, even though they take place in between those other movies.
Right. So I wouldn't be surprised. Is she wearing a Motorhead T-shirt?
Yeah. She's
Nice.
like a metalhead in this movie. It seems.
Well, hopefully they have some Motorhead in the soundtrack then.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
great.
believe Rick Astley makes Rick Astley's song "Never Gonna Give You Up" ends up making it into the trailer
Okay.
at some point.
I
So
could-
I
I
mean,
could
we
see
could
them
have
using a
some
lot of,
cool '80s music.
Yeah, a lot
Not
of that
necessarily
era.
Rick Astley, but
Right. Wow.
there's also at some point in the trailer there are some other triple changers. Like there's those there's a helicopter and a jet that transform into cars. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. It's a helicopter and a jet that transform into a car, and then immediately transform into robots, which is pretty freaking cool.
Right.
I do enjoy triple changers, and if you look at their bodies, they've got helicopter
I
blades
see that
hanging
now.
off, but also car parts.
Yeah, you can almost see the jet or the jet engines over his shoulders. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's cool stuff.
And the other one's got the cockpit
do
and
enjoy
the
triple changers.
doors. Very nice.
So that's
Wow.
one of those
have
is
a follow-up podcast just to kind of cover this.
yeah. I don't even know how long we've been recording.
Yeah, 29 minutes already. We've been. This
have you
definitely
been
needs
keeping
a
track?
follow-up. This needs a follow-up. We are going to have to do the World Through Electrospecs Bumblebee trailer part 2. This is incredible.
That'll be a new thing that we've never recorded a double episode, like not even for a Star Wars movie.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see there a second ago. You could see what I was talking about with Cybertron. Where'd it go?
Would it be awkward if I said I just like Bumblebee's eyes? He's got great eyes.
Yeah, it's a good looking. Yeah, see, okay. So
Oh, there's the planet. Right.
we'll do some more, a couple more comparisons here. So if you look at Cybertron here versus
Yeah, anyone who's picking up this episode, audio only, boy, are you missing out. You should definitely have tuned back in.
as long
Right.
as the as long as the episode doesn't get kicked on YouTube because we have so many.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
I cannot. Yeah. So okay, this is the dumb thing where I'm talking about. This is Cybertron, the Transformers planet, in the
Okay.
Michael Bay movies. This is what it looked like in the original cartoon.
Oh, I wish that was a little bit bigger. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. Hit the microphone and everything.
That's all right. There, I don't know.
Yeah, I
If,
sat there for 30 minutes. I didn't realize it was going to go off and make a racket, though.
I don't know if you can see that one better.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it's mainly
I don't know, that looks like a little bit from Revenge of the Fallen, the second film. I could see some of the similarities.
kind
but-
of,
But,
but it's mainly looking like it's a giant shell that has cities that go deep into its core, and
Yeah.
it's got giant chunks that are ripped out of it.
it's an orb rather than a
Nothing really like this. This just looks like layers of honeycomb that's just completely ripped apart.
Oh yeah, good point.
But
I see that.
comparing these two, this is the original cartoon.
Mhm.
This is the Michael Bay
It's awful dark.
Cybertron.
I mean, dark not as in color, but just as in mood and
And this is what it's looking like in the Bumblebee movie.
yeah.
That looks way more like the original cartoon. It even has the same color scheme, where it's
Right.
got like the kind of bright orange, kind of fiery industrial looking core, and then the outer kind of blue cold metal shell.
Wow, that's fantastic.
They are going all out, man. I cannot be looking forward to this. Even like, I couldn't be looking forward to it more than I am.
Man.
All right, well, I know I just kind of sprung that on you last minute, but I'm
That was
happy I got
fantastic.
to talk to you about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm glad we got together and did this, and let's not wait so long. Now that we
Figured
we
out
know-
how it works.
now that we know we can do this.
Whenever I want
wanted
to.
look at the T-shirt she has. I'm gonna have to watch the trailer now and just pick apart the
Yeah.
different T-shirts.
I get so frustrated because when trailers like this come out, I just want people to sit down and I want them to pick them apart scene by scene.
Right,
Ooh.
and that right there, he has more of the Bumblebee appearance. Like his mask changes when he goes into the armored mode, and he has more of a bee-looking face.
I have an idea, but I want to talk to you about it off air.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Now I got to bring my Bumblebee home from my office and put him on the table behind me.
The toys that they've been releasing for leading up to this movie have been really awesome. We can do toy talk maybe next episode if we talk about this another episode.
That's funny.
All right.
Toy talk in a world where we can talk about toys.
In a world.
Wow.
All right, you want to wrap up?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, I think that was a solid episode. I'm looking forward to doing this podcast more with you. Yeah. And like I said, I have an idea that I really want to throw your way when we get off air.
Awesome.
All right, thank you everybody for listening. We don't have a Patreon anymore. It's everything just kind of fizzled out when we stopped recording for a little while. But maybe we'll get a Patreon together just for the show, not one for my channel. Just this will probably still be hosted on my channel just because it already exists. But yeah, and we'll try to get the live stream back up maybe next couple episodes or so. As always, you can still listen to this on iTunes. I got my website back up and running, so the iTunes RSS feed is working again. So, and any other podcast app that you have or have downloaded in the past will also use the iTunes database, so it'll still work. I will say it was nice recording in this format because we didn't have to stop halfway through because of the cameras running out of time.
Right.
All right, so that's it. We're done. Okay.
Sweet.
Thanks everybody for listening. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Pete.
And we will see you next episode.
You got it. Bye.